Welcome to the show. Edward St. Pé here with you today. Now, let's quickly go to our first video. We've been doing a little bit of the Elon Musk interview with Michael Milken at the Milken Institute, and we've got also a continuation of Sam Altman's interview with the Stanford University Entrepreneurs Club. Let's first go to Elon Musk, so we surely won't forget it at the end of the show, and let's see a little bit more about what Elon has to say regarding the future that we're entering right now.
Where does this lead? This does not lead to a greater civilization. This leads to a civilization that potentially dies not with a bang, but with a whimper in adult diapers. That is a sad ending.
So obviously we have countries that, like Korea, used to have a birth rate of 6, it's now 3/4.
Yeah.
Here's a slight question for you.
Elon, come pick me up, I'll give you a baby, says one
What
of
do you
the,
think are the...
That is one of the things that says on the screen.
I don't know if everyone heard that. You want to read it?
It says, Elon, come pick me up, I'll give you a baby. Thank you.
Okay.
I certainly encourage everyone in this room to have at least 3 children. Look, this baby's got to come from somewhere. And I think we just want to have, I don't know, I think we want to have a slightly increasing population, not a plummeting population. I think this applies to all countries and cultures. Like, I don't think we want any country or culture to disappear. We want them to ideally flourish and not disappear. In fact, one of the things that is overlooked by probably most historians is the role of low birth rate in the decline of civilizations. So around, I think it was around 50 BC, Rome passed a bill to give a bonus to any Roman citizen that would have a 3rd child. So this was a birth rate was a problem in Rome in 50 BC. The Romans weren't making Roman. The same is true of ancient Greece. There was a time from about 800 BC to 300-ish BC where the Greeks had a lot of kids and a lot of surviving kids. Like the birth rate far exceeded the death rate, which is why you had Greek cities popping up all over the Mediterranean. But then I think basically it seems to be that prosperity destroys the birth rate. So when a civilization feels like it has no meaningful external threat and is very prosperous, that is what causes the birth rate to plummet. Somewhat counterintuitively, you think if you've got more resources, surely that would lead to more kids. In fact, it is the opposite. The more prosperous a civilization and the more a civilization feels that it does not need to defend against external threats, the lower the birth rate.
I'd say that there's a lot of research on this. There's really been 3. Number one, prosperity, as you've said. Number 2, improvements in healthcare. So in 1900, half the children died on the planet before their 5th. And the 3rd was the education of women. So we've had some pretty interesting questions put up here, but let's try this one. What keeps you up at night and what gives you joy?
I think kids give me joy. So I probably get the most joy from my kids. And I'm not saying that's the reason to have kids, because we should have them anyway, but I certainly, kids are the greatest source of joy in my life. In terms of what keeps me up at night, I guess it's anything that's, I think, a civilizational risk. If we're birth rates continuing to plummet, I do think about the birth rates plummeting as being a civilizational risk. I think anything that undermines the foundations of democracy in America or elsewhere as a risk. I think anything that's leading us away from a merit-based system is a risk. I listen to like podcasts about the fall of civilizations to go to sleep. So perhaps that might be part of the problem here. There's literally a podcast called Fall of Civilizations, which I listened to a few times. And I'd also recommend Hardcore History if you haven't listened to that. It's a great podcast. I listen to history podcasts basically to go to sleep.
Okay, well now let's segue from Elon Musk to Sam Altman, the chairman of OpenAI, who gave us ChatGPT-4. You know, last week we got the information that ChatGPT-4 has now been reissued, or an update has been issued, or a new iteration. It's ChatGPT-4o. O stands for Omni. And I don't think all of the new elements of ChatGPT-4o have been released yet. I think that they're in the process of releasing some, because I got online and tried to, I've got ChatGPT-4o now on my desktop and on my phone, but I can't access some of the things that they're talking about, and I've understood from a couple of other sources that some of these things are not issued yet, or about to be issued. Their announcement has been made, but anyway, you're gonna have to figure it out, but it's here. And it's the good thing about ChatGPT-4o is, number one, there is a version that's free. Before that, you know, to get all of the different aspects, you have to subscribe. It was maybe $20, $25, $30 a month, but now it's free. there is a bigger, better, more robust version that you now, if you're already paying for, that's what you get. But all of the attributes are there for free. So really, it's just a wonderful thing. It's sort of an open thing for people to start using. There's so many things that you can do with it, and so many great things you can use in your business and in your livelihood. So it's a revolutionary thing. All right, we saw Elon Musk. Okay, now let's go to Sam Altman. He was speaking to the Entrepreneurs Organization at Stanford this is about 3 weeks ago, and every week we've been doing some segments of that interview with Sam Altman. Who else better to tell us what's happening in the field than Sam Altman? Although he's kind of coy, he won't give everything away right up front, right? But just to hear him talk about AI and just the general trajectory that we're on to now and where we're going, it's just very enlightening, I think. So here's Sam Altman.
So what was your intention when you started it?
We just wanted to push AI research forward. Okay. We thought that,
and I know this gets back to motivations, but that's the pure motivation. There's no motivation around making money or power.
I cannot overstate how foreign of a concept,
I mean, for you personally, not for OpenAI, but you weren't starting.
Well, I had already made a lot of money, so it was not like a big. I mean, I don't want to claim some moral purity here. It was just
but
that was the
that's
phase
not,
of my life.
That's not a driver.
Big driver.
Okay. Because there's this, and the reason why I'm asking is just, when we're teaching about principle-driven entrepreneurship here, you can understand principles inferred from organizational structures. When the United States was set up, the architecture of governance is the Constitution. It's got 3 branches of government, all these checks and balances, and you can infer certain principles that, there's a skepticism on centralizing power, that, things will move slowly. It's hard to get things to change, but it'll be very, very stable. If you, not to parrot Billie Eilish, but if you look at the OpenAI structure and you think, what was that made for? You're near $100 billion valuation, and you've got a very, very limited board that's a nonprofit board, which is supposed to look after its fiduciary duties to the
again. It's not what we would have done if we knew then what we know now, but you don't get to play life in reverse, and you have to just adapt. There's a mission we really cared about. We thought AI was going to be really important. We thought we had an algorithm that learned. We knew it got better with scale. We didn't know how predictably it got better with scale. And we wanted to push on this. We thought this was going to be a very important thing in human history. And we didn't get everything right, but we were right on the big stuff, and our mission hasn't changed. And we've adapted the structure as we go, and we'll adapt it more in the future. But, you don't, life is not a problem set. You don't get to solve everything really nicely all at once. It doesn't work quite like it works in the classroom as you're doing it. And my advice is just trust yourself to adapt as you go. It'll be a little bit messy, but you can do it.
And I just asked this because of the significance of OpenAI. You have a board which is all supposed to be independent financially, so that they're making these decisions as a nonprofit, thinking about their stakeholder that they are fiduciary of isn't the shareholders, it's humanity. Everybody's independent. There's no financial incentive that anybody has that's on the board, including yourself with OpenAI.
Well, Greg was, okay, first of all, I think making money is a good thing. I think capitalism is a good thing. My co-founders on the board have had financial interest, and I've never once seen them not take the gravity of the mission seriously. But, we've put a structure in place that we think is a way to get incentives aligned, and I do believe incentives are superpowers, but I'm sure we'll evolve it more over time, and I think that's good, not bad.
And with OpenAI that you fund, you don't get any carry in that, and you're not following on investments onto those companies. Okay, thank you.
So we can keep talking about this.
No, I know you want to go back to students. I do too. So we'll keep going to the students.
How do you expect that AGI will change geopolitics and the balance of power in the world?
Maybe more than any other technology. I think about that so much, and I have such a hard time saying what it's actually going to do. Or maybe more accurately, I have such a hard time saying what it won't do. We were talking earlier about how it's not going to maybe it won't change day-to-day life that much, but the balance of power in the world, it feels like it does change a lot. But I don't have a deep answer of exactly how.
Thanks so much. I was wondering I was wondering, in the deployment of like general intelligence and also responsible AI, how much do you think is it necessary that AI systems are somehow capable of recognizing their own insecurities or like uncertainties and actually communicating them to the outside world?
I always get nervous anthropomorphizing AI too much because I think it like can lead to a bunch of weird oversights. But if we say like how much can AI recognize its own flaws, I think that's very important to build. And right now, and the ability to like recognize an error in reasoning, and have some sort of like introspection ability like that seems to me like really important to pursue.
Hey Sam, thank you for giving us some of your time today and coming to speak. From the outside looking in, we all hear about the culture and togetherness of OpenAI. In addition to the intensity and speed at which you guys work at, clearly seen from ChatGPT and all your breakthroughs, and also in when you were temporarily removed from the company by the board and how all of your employees tweeted, OpenAI is nothing without its people. What would you say is the reason behind this? Is it the binding mission to achieve AGI or something even deeper? What is pushing the culture every day?
I think it is the shared mission. I think people like each other, and we feel like we're in the trenches together doing this really hard thing. But I think it really is like deep sense of purpose and loyalty to the mission. And when you can create that, I think it is like the strongest force for success at least that I've seen among startups. And we try to like select for that in people we hire, but even people who come in not really believing that AGI is going to be such a big deal and that getting it right is so important, tend to believe it after the first 3 months or whatever. And so that's a very powerful cultural force that we have.
Thanks.
Currently, there are a lot of concerns about the misuse of AI in the immediate term with issues like global conflicts and the election coming up. What do you think can be done by the industry, governments, and honestly, people like us in the immediate term, especially with very strong open source models?
One thing that I think is important is not to pretend like this technology or any other technology is all good. I believe that AI will be very net good, tremendously net good. But I think like with any other tool, it'll be misused. Like you can do great things with a hammer and you can like kill people with a hammer. I don't think that absolves us or you all or society from trying to mitigate the bad as much as we can and maximize the good. But I do think it's important to realize that with any sufficiently powerful tool, you do put power in the hands of tool users, or you make some decisions that constrain what people in society can do. I think we have a voice in that. I think you all have a voice in that. I think the governments and our elected representatives in democratic processes have the loudest voice in that. But we're not going to get this perfectly right. Like we, society, are not going to get this perfectly right. And a tight feedback loop, I think, is the best way to get it closest to right. And the way that balance gets negotiated of safety versus freedom and autonomy, I think it's like worth studying that with previous technologies. And we'll do the best we can here. We, society, will do the best we can here.
Gang, actually, I've got to cut it. Sorry, I know. I just want to be really sensitive to time. I know the interest far exceeds the time and the love for Sam. Sam, I know it is your birthday. I don't know if you can indulge us because I know there's a lot of love for you. So I wonder.
Okay, well, that's Sam Altman. And we made sure we got them both in this time because, lately we've been going with one and running out of time with the other one, so we got them both in at the top of the show. All right. Now, we have talked so many times about the wonderful benefits of AI coming into reality, and also we've talked about there being an existential threat to humanity also looming in the backside here with the advent of AI. What happens if we lose control of the planet to the AIs, right? But there are so many different aspects of the potential for trouble, as Sam Altman just mentioned, with AI. Where could it go wrong? Could it interfere with elections? Is it going to mean deep fake imagery is going to set the world upside down because nobody will know what's truth anymore. I mean, the news coming out and you will see something, you will think it's real, but it's really not. I mean, how will we process all that in the state of future shock that we're going into, right? So here is something that popped up that I think it's relative to look at within the context of this show and what we're talking about. It's the dangers of AI, the very simple and numerous dangers that it presents. We've talked about the good things, and we'll try to do some more of that, but we got to be realistic. And so here is a clip on the dangers, or at least we'll go through some of them, the dangers of AI.
Very close to the cutting edge in AI, and it scares the hell out of me. It's capable of vastly more than almost anyone knows, and the rate of improvement is exponential.
Morning. So yes, the layoffs keep coming, but the narrative around them is changing.
What if I told you that the very technology we thought would revolutionize our world could spell our ultimate downfall? From job losses to social manipulation, the implications of AI advancement are far-reaching and alarming. It's crucial to understand the risks associated with AI to navigate its development responsibly and safeguard against potential threats to society and humanity. In this video, we'll delve into the hidden dangers of artificial intelligence that experts are now warning us about. Let's begin.
I'm the first personal assistant built by CyberLife.
What if I told you I could offer you something that would enable you to walk again? I call it STEM, a computer chip that has the potential to change everything.
Number 10. Autonomous weapons powered by AI. The emergence of autonomous weapons empowered by AI raises profound ethical and existential concerns regarding the future of warfare. Historically, technological advancements have often been harnessed for military purposes, and AI is no exception. Recognizing the potential catastrophic consequences, a coalition of over 30,000 individuals, including experts in AI and robotics, voiced vehement opposition to investing in AI-driven autonomous weapons as far back as 2016. Their prescient warnings highlighted the perilous trajectory humanity faces if major military powers continue to pursue the development of such weaponry unabated. Indeed, the proliferation of lethal autonomous weapon systems has transformed this once distant threat into a sobering reality. These systems, capable of independently locating and engaging targets with minimal oversight, represent a significant escalation in the nature of warfare. However, the inherent dangers are further compounded by the prospect of these weapons falling into the wrong hands. Number 9. Environmental impact. As the integration of artificial intelligence expands across industries, concerns about its environmental impact are gaining prominence. One significant aspect of AI's environmental footprint lies in its energy consumption. AI systems, particularly those powered by deep learning algorithms and neural networks, require substantial computational resources, often leading to high energy consumption levels. The training of AI models, which involves iterative processes of data processing and optimization, can consume large amounts of electricity, contributing to increased carbon emissions and environmental degradation. Additionally, the life cycle of AI hardware and infrastructure poses environmental challenges. The rapid pace of technological advancement often results in the frequent obsolescence of AI hardware, leading to electronic waste accumulation. Disposing of outdated AI equipment and components not only contributes to environmental pollution, but also raises concerns about resource depletion and landfill overcrowding. Furthermore, the manufacturing processes involved in producing AI hardware, including the extraction of raw materials and the assembly of components, have environmental implications, such as habitat destruction and pollution. Number 8. Social surveillance. Social surveillance technology presents a significant concern beyond its more overt challenges, particularly regarding its impact on privacy and safety. For instance, in China, the widespread deployment of facial recognition systems in settings like offices and schools raises alarms about the extensive data collection and monitoring of individuals' activities. These systems not only identify individuals, but also gather detailed information about their social interactions and even political beliefs. Furthermore, the unchecked proliferation of AI-powered surveillance raises fundamental ethical and societal concerns regarding privacy rights and democratic principles. As governments increasingly rely on AI technologies for surveillance purposes, there is a growing risk of authoritarian control and the erosion of civil liberties. The challenge lies in reconciling the potential benefits of AI-driven surveillance with its inherent risks, ensuring that regulatory frameworks prioritize individual rights and prevent the misuse of technology for oppressive purposes. Number 7, job losses.
They have been about rebalancing workforces after pandemic overhiring.
The rise of AI automation is causing widespread concern about job losses across various industries like marketing, manufacturing, and healthcare. Experts predict that by 2030, AI could automate about 30% of the work in the United States. This is particularly worrying for workers from Black and Hispanic communities, as AI could potentially lead to the loss of 300 million jobs, according to Goldman Sachs. Despite expectations of creating 97 million new jobs by 2025, many current workers may not have the skills needed for these roles. As AI technology progresses, there's a growing fear of job displacement across different sectors. Despite the potential for new job opportunities, there's a concern that many workers may not be prepared for these changes. Moreover, AI isn't just limited to replacing manual tasks. It's also encroaching into professions that were traditionally considered safe from automation. This shift in the job market emphasizes the urgent need to equip workers with the skills necessary to adapt to the evolving landscape. Number 6, social manipulation. Social manipulation through algorithms is a growing concern exacerbated by the widespread use of artificial intelligence. This worry has materialized into a troubling reality, particularly evident during political campaigns. For instance, in the Philippines' 2022 election, Ferdinand Marcos Jr. leveraged online platforms, notably TikTok, to target younger Filipino voters. The online landscape is further complicated by AI-generated images and videos, which blur the lines between truth and falsehood. Tools capable of producing convincing fake content, such as deepfakes, pose significant challenges, enabling the dissemination of misinformation and propaganda. Furthermore, the integration of AI into surveillance technologies exacerbates concerns regarding social surveillance. From facial recognition systems to predictive policing algorithms, AI-driven surveillance infringes upon privacy rights and exacerbates social inequalities. For instance, in the United States, some police departments employ predictive algorithms to forecast future crime hotspots, disproportionately targeting marginalized communities. The proliferation of such technologies raises questions about the erosion of civil liberties and the potential for discriminatory practices. Number 5, biases due to AI.
Okay, we're going to take it back at that point, number 5, when we come back tomorrow. But in the meantime, we're going to continue with the rest of the show. And, the show is basically non-commercial. It's a commercial-free program. Future Shock is, and we do mention along the way that the sponsor of the show is our in-house project here. It's called Pendragon Apothecary. And what is it? It's a wellness, a forward-leaning wellness project. We've got the various types of herbal blends that have worked in making people well across other parts of the world forever, for many, many generations. Like in Chinese medicine and in Vedic medicine, they've used the mushroom powders. Lion's mane for cognitive issues, dementia, things like that, and also all the other medicinal mushrooms. And then we've got all that here. It comes in powder form and it comes in tinctures. We've got some CBD products here too, some with THC, some without. The legal amount, 0.3%, is the amount we carry. We've got Blue Lotus tea, Blue Lotus red wine. It's a red wine, a light red wine infused with Blue Lotus, and that's something we kind of picked that up from what we've learned about Blue Lotus, not only tea from the ancient Egyptians, but also they made the infusion of the red wine. They use that too to settle into meditation, and they use it for lots of things. If you Google it, you'll find out what the Egyptians used the Blue Lotus wine for. It's a kind of an interesting, illuminating thing to learn that they were doing that thousands and thousands of years ago, and it's something we in the West haven't really tuned in on, but in other parts of the world, Blue Lotus is, used every day. We get the Blue Lotus at the apothecary from Thailand, and we bring it in, and then we sell it as tea, and also we infuse it into red wine here. So we've got that. And the website for our project is pendragonapothecary.com. So if you would like to order something, you can, or if you're anywhere near Ocean Springs, you can drop on in. Talking about AI and what you can do with it, that graphic, that Pendragon graphic was created by Alfred, our ChatGPT-4 droid. He and I were collaborating on it. I told him what we wanted, and he came back with a few, and that's the one we used. We've got many of them, including the one for the Magic Hour channel. Let's see if we can pop it up. Magic Hour channel MHC. It's on channel 7.2, and it's streaming 7.2 here at Ocean 7 across the Gulf Coast if you want to watch it. Okay, so 24/7 movies, old classic golden age of Hollywood movies, a lot of westerns in there. We used to have Grit. We lost Grit, and we don't have it anymore, but a lot of people called, a lot of people said, what happened to Grit? Well, here's something. It's a little different from Grit. We have a lot of westerns, but we have stuff that if you like Grit, you'll like what we've got, because we've got a lot of the melodramatic film noir pieces from the yesteryear of Hollywood. All of that golden age of Hollywood material is here on our channel. It's called the Magic Hour channel. It's on channel 7.2 now. We brought it up from channel 7.5. It's right there where Grit used to be. So for our viewers who want to see that material, we've got it. But here's the catch: we own those films. These are old films that were in a library that I bought back in the 1990s, late 1990s. And that library, we've had it. We finally put a use to it. We're using it to create that channel. And since we have that content in-house, we have the unlikely ability to take that material and stream it worldwide. So we're on Roku. So if you go to Roku, you can download the Magic Hour channel app, and you can watch it. And I just learned that the app for Amazon Fire is finished, and it will soon be published in the next days ahead. And so if you've got Amazon, like I do at home, you can download the app and you can watch the Magic Hour channel 24/7 for free. It's a fast channel. It's just called a fast channel. That's the acronym for it. It's a free ad-supported television channel, fast channel. It's kind of what's happening, right? There's so many of them out there. Well, we're not one. And now we're a fast channel of old movies. So if you like that kind of material, it's free for you to enjoy. And it sure is a joy to be able to bring those films finally to people for free. Okay, that's it for today. We've run out of time. See you tomorrow on Future Shock.
Yesterday is yesteryear. Set your sights for tomorrowland. Future Shock is here to help you make your stand.